Hello everybody, and welcome to Montezuma. It is a breezy day. Not really hot. I mean, it's upper 70s right now. Well, I checked the forecast for Ithaca. I didn't check for Montezuma. It's going to be in Ithaca, the high temperature last I checked was going to be like 81. But I checked, I can't remember what last was, either yesterday or... Anyway. Welcome. I didn't want to start speaking until I got moving, just because there was a gentleman at his car and I didn't want to startle him. You know, it's still August, so things are relatively quiet, but I have seen a few things, mostly because they were in flight, but I saw, you know, a few things either perched in trees or on the ground, and some of these are rough counts, but I've seen 19 pigeons, 1 great blue heron, probably 120 red-winged blackbirds. They've been flying around a lot today. Probably about 60 Canada geese, 1 green heron, I think 3 American goldfinches, a couple ospreys, 2 mallards, and 5 double-crested cormorants. So that's pretty much it so far. Let me just put away my pencil and paper. I just want to say also, I better check that we're all online. I want to say also, I'm on a very tight schedule today because I have a family event tonight, and that means I have to end early. Like maybe a little after 6. Okay, so that puts pressure on us in terms of time. But we'll try to see as much as we can see today. And you know, oh, I have seen some gulls, by the way, but I couldn't identify them. Not only am I not very good at identifying gulls, but they were very, you know, very distant. Last night, I hurried so that I could get in place and be ready to maybe, hopefully, record common nighthawks again. And if you've been checking the Facebook page, or you've seen that I've been watching them, I actually had an unplanned broadcast last Sunday night, and together we watched some of the nighthawks, and I have since then had a couple better occasions to watch them. So I was hoping last night would be really good too, and I was even more ready than I was the night before, and essentially they stood me up. I saw a couple that were close, but they basically just flew by very quickly, and I wasn't ready for them anyway. But even in the distance, they never really started flying around, at least in the areas where I could see. So that was that. I have to say, it was disappointing. Oh, look, they've taken down the blue posts that marked off the walking trail. Oh, and I see a. Oh, I just saw in the air. I just saw an American bittern. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready with the camera, but it was over in this area here, and then it was in flight. Oh, and what's that in the distance? And that is a turkey vulture, but I definitely saw the bittern. If I had had the camera pointing that way, it might have been not the best look, but it was briefly in the air and within my view. Anyway, if you... I didn't have my very best look at common nighthawks the other night. Well, I did have my best view. I should rephrase. I didn't have the very best view ever recorded, but I had my own personal best looks at common nighthawks, including some with decent lighting. That sounded like a Gallinor. There were times the other night where they were reasonably close, and as it happened, there was still some sunshine that managed to light them. So they were still moving fast, of course, but had some decent looks. Now, as I arrived here today, and just looking around, and you know, sometimes it's the way the lighting is and the clouds and everything, but as I... What did I just see? As I arrived, I could just definitely had the feeling that, like, all the as you come in, there's a tree line in the distance, and it looked a lot lighter than it had been, even I think even just last week. And I am starting here and there to see a little bit of color in some trees that, you know, at least in the areas I travel, or around my own home, for instance, trees that, you know, usually each year change color earlier than maybe others. Well, they're starting already. So, and it's unsurprising. I mean, here it is late August, and I mean, that's been like that, you know, since as long as I can remember. So no surprise there. The point is, you know, we're definitely heading for a change in season. I mean, you know, we know that, of course, but I mean, it's starting to feel that way. And, you know, it's not going to start snowing tomorrow. There's something white on the horizon. I missed it. Oh no. Still can't get it. The grass is focusing on. Now I can't see it. Looks like a gull. Okay. I've told you before, you know, I used to really, I don't know if I, oh, what's that? Hold on. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a duck, maybe it's a goose, but it's got its head tucked down. I mean, I can't tell what it is. Maybe we'll get a better view in a moment. 1 second. But let's look at something else over here, see if that's anything. And it is. Looks like a mallard. Anyway, as I was about to say before I interrupted myself, the you You know, I used to really worry about the change in season. Oh, here comes the fall, here comes... And, you know, maybe I wouldn't look forward to it, but now I actually do kind of look forward to it. I mean, migration can be a wonderful thing here. Still don't know what that is. That looks like, I believe... Turn this way. Oh, looks like a wood duck. A wood duck. Oh, someone has their head up. I think that was a mallard. Okay. My head was up and then went very quickly, was tucked back, so... hold on one second. I think there's something else moving out there. So anyway, if you missed it, we're on really on a tight timetable today. That is another wood duck. Okay, it's a second. But we're on I mean, we're always on a tight timetable. There's a lot I'd like to see each time, but today especially so because I have to end early. So I might skip an area, I might just, I don't know, we'll see what happens. You know, a number of weeks ago, we might have a hard time getting through Wildlife Drive very quickly. But today, who knows, maybe we won't see much and it'll be very fast. I see some shorebirds and I see some Canada geese. So let's look at the shorebirds. I'm guessing they are, yeah, they look like, and there was another one which we have some vegetation blocking our view. I believe they are greater yellowlegs. We'll find that I really am no expert on bird identification. I just do my best. So those are the Canada geese right there. And okay, I thought maybe I saw another shorebird, but that's not a shorebird. Okay, let's keep going. I see some small white birds in the water up ahead, and I think I just saw a mourning dove fly in. It looks like we have some gulls and ducks up ahead. Not sure who these guys are. And we're not going to see them. Okay, let's look at over here. Those are gallinules, by the looks of them. Young gallinules. Not sure if that's a greater yellowlegs or not. It might be. That looks like a mallard there. And another. Some gulls here and mallards. Who's this in flight? This might be a tern. Yes, this looks like a Caspian tern. Oops, sorry, the windshield. And it just landed to be in here with the gulls. Maybe one of these days I'll learn more about gulls and which is which is which. Okay, let's go over to this side of the road. we have, before I... there's another gallinule here. I'm not... well, maybe I can show you. Hidden in the grasses. And, oh, I mixed... well, there were two or three somebody's over here. Look, these look... yeah, these are pie-billed grebes. And I don't know if things are drying out a little bit here. I mean, you know, it is getting to be late summer, and very often by now things are drying out. But we have more water in some places than we might normally, or I have often seen. So who knows? But I'm seeing, I'll show you, patches of green on the water. Now I don't know if that means because if it's because the water's shallow or if there just happens to be something going on the surface. That I can't say. Looks like another gallon over there. No. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, who's that? A little somebody. Who's this little somebody? Try to see if I can see it, because I want it. I don't know if I can locate it again, and now I don't see it. I think I just saw a tree swallow, some kind of swallow. I'm not sure if it was a tree swallow. Now I think about it. Now I saw a tree swallow, two of them. Who was that? I can't see now, that little somebody. It looked like a young, either common gallinule, very young, or a young American coot. I couldn't be sure. We're going to have to move on. Again, we're really pressed for time today. A few more red-winged blackbird. Oh, I see. Hold on. Through the grasses, I see like 3 coots and a common gallinule. American coots, that is, and a common gallinule. Oh, make it 4. No. Make it 3 coots and yet another gallinule right over here. Those are the coots, and the gallinule is there. Young gallinule. And then over here we have some other youngsters. I could try to get the other camera on those, but I think the grasses are going to really interfere with us there too, so let me see if I can look at them with binoculars. I cannot tell if they are coots or gallinules. All I know is that they're very young. We've seen, last year we had the good fortune to see both very young coots and very young gallinules, and you may recall, here's a mallard in here, by the way. I don't need to be recording. Right in there, behind the grasses. You may recall that the very young coots and gallinules look very similar. The adult common gallinule has an orange or red bill. And the adult American coot has a white bill. But the very young, you know, coots and gallinules both have like an orange or reddish bill. So at least for me, I'm sure there are differences, but for me, they were very hard to tell apart. I guess what mattered was which adult was feeding them. Just grasses here. Someone's vocalizing, probably a coot or a gallon or a youngster. That was one of the nice things about coming up here last year. And you know, before the tour ever started, I used to come up here in the summer, you know, during the summer months also. I mean, it wasn't just in, you know, spring and fall. And prior to last year, I had never seen really young coots or gallinules. So it was nice to see them from, you know, the really tiny size and then as they matured over the weeks. Okay, we have, looks like, I'm not sure if they're grebes or what out here, but that looks like a grebe there, but I'm not sure. These look like more grebes out here. And they're acting like grebes. Occasionally diving. And that's nothing. Just saw 2 American goldfinches. And I see a double, well, if I can show it to you, I just saw a double-crested cormorant. Closer to us is, it looks like another gallinule, a young one. And let's see if we can quickly look out at what's out here farther. Look like pied-billed grebes. One there looks like a particularly young one. See some striping on it. Gallinule, grebes. Let's keep moving. You know, it's very possible we won't see much here today, and so far we haven't seen all that much. And you know, it's been like that. You may recall there have been times when our first visit in September wouldn't be, you know, all that exciting in terms of bird sightings. I mean, we're a ways from full migration. But by the way, speaking of migration, as predicted, I'm not saying they're all gone from my area, but for instance, I know I haven't seen a robin around my area in days, several days. So just like they have seemed to have done in prior years, it seems like the robins have left, as they do in, someone just dove, in mid to late August. There's a grebe here, I think.
Yes. Dove. And then I just saw, who's this on the fly here? Looks like a cormorant, double-crested cormorant. By the way, if you like another look, remember we had a nice look at a double-crested cormorant last week, and I posted that video to, that looks like an eagle. I posted that video for anyone to see. I can't remember if I posted it to YouTube, but I know it's at least on Facebook. I think it's on both. I've decided that with some videos, I may not post them to YouTube. It's a great blue heron. But if I think they might be special for the tour, maybe, but maybe not so much for just in general, you know, maybe I'll post them to the Facebook page, but I won't post them to YouTube. We'll see. There could be something we see that maybe has special meaning to, you know, people on the tour. That's the kind of thing I'm getting at. Special in one way or another. I try not to post just anything and everything. I hope usually if I go through the trouble of editing a video and then posting it, I'm hoping that it would have some value. Okay, that is a pied-billed grebe, but see some of that striping, it shows it's a young one. The adult has a more grayish brownish appearance without striping. Pied-billed grebe. Well, there's dove. Never mind. I'm going to set you down for a second. I just want to look in the distance to see if there's anything. I just want to have two hands on the button. 1 second. Maybe 2 seconds. There may be some coots or something in the distance. Let's see if we can see them with this camera. If not, maybe we'll switch. Where are they? I can't even see them with the naked eye. Okay, there they be. I suspect that they're mostly coots, but maybe we'll take a look. Let's quickly do that. Take a look and see if that's what they are. Again, I believe they're coots, American coots. Give me a minute. By the way, it was announced, if you haven't seen it, that the Lab of Ornithology is going to have its migration celebration event on the 15th of September.